Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I will be showing you guys how easy it is to dye hair using the boil dye method. So let's just skip the chit chat and get right into it. Okay, so the main things that you need for this process are your combs. You can have more than one, a pair of gloves. I didn't really use the gloves in the video, the hair of course, and then your choice of colored hair dye. The hair that I will be using today is by Luvme hair. This is actually for someone else. This is not my hair. When you open the box, it has a lovely quote on it. I'm just going to flip it over for you guys to see. It says, "Enjoy your hair journey from now on." And then when you open it up, you see the wig on top. She ordered the wig in a 613 blonde. And then it also comes with a bunch of goodies at the bottom. If you see here, she has a pair of lashes. Here's a small rat tail comb. There is a band to attach to the wig if you need it. There is a wig cap, pamphlet to teach you how to care for the hair. Inside has a bunch of instructions, and I think that's cute for their customers to have. And then there's this really cute pair of lashes that are also inside the box. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is remove the hair from the net that it comes inside and this pretty little bag that it comes inside. I don't remember how long this hair is because it's not my hair like I said before, but I believe it looks about it's a 22 or a 24 inch. I'm just gonna take that and finger comb that through, and then as you guys can see, I needed some assistance with pouring the hot water inside of the bucket because it was way too hot. And that's what you want. You want to boil water on the stove until it's like boiling hot, and for this I used 2 pots of boiling water. Now you can go ahead and skip this next step if you want to, but I do it because I feel like it works. I feel like it actually is worth doing. So what you want to do is flip the wig inside out on your wig head or your mannequin, whatever it is that you make your wigs on. And what you want to do is take your Got To Be spray, and you want to spray the entire lace. Make sure you cover the lace and the knots. So I find it kind of contradicting that people say that when you water dye something, it doesn't dye the knots or the lace, but then they also use water dye to tint the lace. It doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I do this. So then what you want to do is go ahead and take your blow dryer and just melt that Got To Be onto the lace and the knots. So now I'm going to take the Ruby Red Kiss hair dye and I'm going to just open that up. And I'm just going to squeeze the entire bottle inside of the boiling water. Ugh, doesn't that look familiar? So yeah, I'm going to squeeze the entire bottle in there. And I'm just going to let that settle in. And then I'm going to mix it. And any little particles or dirt that you guys thought you've seen in the water, that wasn't the water. That was actually the paper that is underneath the bucket. The water was completely clean. So guys, I know it might seem weird, but a trick that I like to do is just squeeze the bottle into the water and make sure that I'm getting every last bit of dye out of that bottle, because we don't want to waste any of the hair dye and we want the color to be as pigmented as possible. So I just go back and forth, squeezing it and letting the water fall out the bottle. And sometimes I even go as far as leaving the bottle inside of the bucket. I know it sounds weird, but that's what I do. So now I'm just taking this comb just to mix up the hair dye inside of the water. And I just keep mixing until all those little chunks are gone and I know that the dye is evenly spread throughout the water. So now I'm just taking my second bottle of hair dye and I'm doing the same thing that I did with the first bottle. So now that that's done, like I said, I leave the bottle floating in there because it takes out the rest of the dye. And now I'm just putting on my gloves because I'm going to begin to go ahead and dunk the hair inside of the water. So what I like to do is just dip the hair in very slowly. Like the first thing I do is go ahead and dip the tips inside of the hair to see how that comes out. And then when I lift it up and I see that it's taking the color, I go ahead and just start to push the rest of the hair down. But I still do this little by little. Like as you can see here, I'm just flowing the hair inside of the water and then I'm lifting it up. And I'm doing the same thing over and over, making sure that it catches everything. I make sure that I do the frontal last. So I'm just pushing this down with the comb. And then also, while you're dyeing the hair, what you want to do is also comb through it to make sure that every single strand of hair is being dyed evenly. Even though it's water, so it's thinner than actual dye and it will get on the hairs better than it would with actual dye, you still want to just make sure to comb through it because sometimes it does skip a couple strands. So now that we've reached the front part of the wig, what I'm going to do is just spray a little bit more Got To Be on the top part because I did spray it on the bottom but I didn't spray it on the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my blow dryer and do the same thing that I did for underneath the wig. So I'm just making sure that this dries completely before I go ahead and dip the frontal into the water. And now I'm gonna go ahead and slowly dip the frontal down into the water, and I'm gonna do that by just pulling the wig up back and forth because even though I'm focusing on dyeing the front part of the wig, I still want to go ahead and make sure that all those strands at the tips of the hair and in the middle are dyed. As you can see here, I'm spreading the hair to make sure that every single last strand is dyed. So now here what I'm doing is just wiggling the hair back and forth, back and forth. And by doing this, I'm making sure that the water flows all through the front of the wig to make sure that you have every single last hair dyed on the wig. And you'll see me do this a lot in the video for a long time because I wanted to make sure that all of those strands were dyed. Now, as you can see here, the frontal is almost fully dyed, but for some reason there were a couple of strings that were still light and looking orangey, so I soaked the wig a little bit longer than usual. And now, as you can see here, as I'm lifting the hair up, there is nothing dyed or tinted but the hair itself. The lace is still the same exact color that it was before. So now what I'm going to do is just take the hair out of the bucket, squeeze out all the excess water, and put it on my wig head so that I can go ahead and condition it. Listen, my wig head has been through a lot of dyeing, tinting, colors. She's been through a lot, okay? So that's all that's on there. It's mostly black hair dye and brown tint from tinting my lace, all right? So give her a break, guys. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and condition the hair. Let me tell you guys something. You can use any conditioner. As you can see, I'm using Suave. It's okay. It doesn't have to be the most expensive conditioner because it is not the hair that is growing out of your head. So it's not going to get as much damage and stuff as it would as the hair growing out your head. And on top of that, I do not shampoo when I water dye. Comment down below if I'm the only person that does this, but when you water dye, I feel as if it's a waste to shampoo. The whole point of shampooing is to remove all of the excess dye. Water dye is so lightweight that there's almost no excess dye on the hair. So I just go straight into conditioning. So as you can see here, I went ahead, I finger combed the hair, and I also combed with a comb the conditioner through the hair and made sure that the conditioner was spread out evenly. Now, I know some of y'all are probably like, what the hell is happening now? But if you guys know, when you go to the salon and they decondition your hair, they put a clear cap on it. Let me tell you something. A plastic bag is the same exact thing as a clear cap, okay? Don't be bougie. So I just go ahead and I throw that bag, cap, whatever you want to call it, I throw that on there, and then I apply some heat to the bag to decondition the hair, and I leave that on there for about 5 to 10 minutes. Y'all see throughout this whole video, my one braid will just not let me live. Like, it just wants to be all up in the video, all up in the camera. It's annoying, but oh well, whatever. Y'all say hi to her. And now I just go ahead and wash the hair. At first I washed it on like the regular sink mode, but I noticed that it was easier to use the sprinkle mode, so I went ahead and I switched it. And I just made sure that I rinsed out every last bit of conditioner that was in the hair. Now that is all done, I just go ahead, I comb the hair out, and I go ahead and I mold it onto the wig head. This is the best time if you want a side part, a middle part, whatever part you want. When the hair is wet, this is the best time to go ahead and make that part on the wig. So I don't know how she wanted it, so I just assumed that she wanted it as a middle part. So I went ahead and I molded the hair into the middle part and just squeezed out any excess water. And I am not a blow drying person, so I went ahead and I let that hair air dry overnight, and then in the morning I went ahead and blow dry and flat ironed it. And I also did not find any T-pins. I couldn't find them for anything, so I had to work with what I had. So I went ahead and I used some push pins. Don't judge me, they work just as fine. Thank you. So as you can see here, it is the next day. I went ahead and I let all of that excess water dry out the hair before blow drying, because blow drying the hair with excess water in it is just too much and it takes too long. And it took about 2 or 3 washes for this hair dye to come off of my hand. This is a really good hair dye because it didn't come out easy. So now what I'm doing is just flat ironing the hair all the way through. And if you see a couple blonde strands at the top, for some reason they just wouldn't take no matter how many times. I actually dyed them over and over again, they wouldn't take. So after I was done flat ironing the wig, I just went ahead and plucked those hairs that were being stubborn. it for this video, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys love the color. It came out so pretty. I'm in love with it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe like I always say, and then hit that notification bell. And then right after you hit that notification bell, make sure you hit all so that you get notified every single time that I upload. Don't only subscribe to my channel, I need you guys to go ahead and follow me on Instagram at jaiyepierre so that you guys can keep up with me. And then you guys can also follow my nail page, which is at Nails by Jay. There you guys can see all my nail designs. And here's a list of all my other social media accounts. My Twitter, J_Pierre, TikTok, J.Pierre_, Facebook like page, Jaiye Pierre, and my Snapchat. So I'll check you guys in my next video, okay? Bye!